So, what Gunplas are released during the year of 2020? Let's rewind it back and check it out. First, we're going to start with January, shall we? So the first item that we have on the list in January 2020, it is the high-grade Jupiter Gundam from the Build Divers Re-Rise series. Now it is a 144 scale HG and was released in early of June of this year of 2020. And now for the next item. Our next item is a mobile doll Mei HGBDR series, again from the Build Divers R series, 1 to 144 scale. Now this model can transform into the actual Mei from the series. Now it was released in the late of January with this year, and it has multiple emotes as well as faces to actually personify Mei in the series. And for the next item, it is the Sam arms. Now this specific kit doesn't have its own gunpla. It's actually a simple weapon system with its own French shield and revolve arm. It can be equipped with almost any HG kits. Well, actually not almost any. It has its own specifics, like for example like the Gulf you see in this video. Now you can actually modify to based on your liking and based to what you prefer. So a lot of customizations that you can have and play around with this specific weapon system. And next we have the SDCS, or known as the SD Gundam Cross Zaku to Sha. Now it is a pretty simple and straightforward kit without much of complications. It was released in the early of January this year. Followed with its extended frame. Now the SD Gundam red frame and green frame, yes, both in red and green color, that it can be changed to upgrade the frame system for the SDCS Zaku and Zaku to Sha. So the kit was also released in month of January. And last and certainly not the least, it is the SDCS Booster Red and Green. Now these are basically kits for you to actually have boosters for some of the kits, for example like the GN and the Zaku. Now we're gonna move forward to the February month of this year, so shall we? And now for the first entry of the month of February, it is the Gundam Tertium. It is from the HGBD, which is basically from the Build Divers series, and can be combined with the Seltzer arms, and comes with its 2 rifles and 2 beam sabers, and finally stickers. Now onwards to the next model. And the next item, it is the RX-78 to Hello Kitty. Now this kit comes with its own Hello Kitty and as well its own RX-78, as well as a Hello Kitty head for you to combine with the RX-78 to form the RX-78 Hello Kitty. And next we have the Gundam Hello Kitty Hero. Now this specific hero is actually a variation of the Hello Kitty version with its own art and colorizations that follows the Hello Kitty as well as the hero. So nothing much there. Onwards to the next model. And next we have the Mercon unit. It is basically just another armor system, not just only a weapon system. Now this was released in the early February of 2020. It was released in the Build Divers R series. It is an armor extension that can be installed onto the core Gundam. It has exterior parts and as well as its own base to combine and into its actual flight mode. Onwards to the next model. And next, it is the SDBD Avalanche Rex Buster, released in the later February of 2020. It is an enhanced kit for the SDBDR Volcalander, which is sold separately. It can be transformed into various forms such as the Rex Buster and as well as a backpack for its own use and own transformations and options for this kit. And next we have the Harrow Basic Green. It is basically a Harrow in its basic green form. Nothing much here, it actually just reminisces of the Harrow back in the 1979 version. It's almost as similar and as original as back in the 1979 version. So no modifications here, just a cute little Harrow with its original color scheme and open mouth. And next we have the SDCS of Earth Tree Gundam. Released in the late of February, the main character from the Build Divers Re-Rise Earth Tree Gundam is in SDCS form. Now this specific form even has its own core form, which is pretty nice for an SDCS. Multiple features such as the blasters, so a really nice kit overall. And for the next item, it is the Perfect Grade Perfect Strike Gundam. Now that's a lot of perfects for a singular kit. Among the top 10 kits in this year's, the Perfect Strike Gundam was released in the late of February of 2020. From the Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, its modeling features various parts, gunmetals, and it can also be transformed into its 3 modes. The blue color has been changed from which more dark color, extra finished parts, and overall a really refined version of the Perfect Strike Gundam. It really goes to show that this kit is really a perfect grade kit with its various options and really nice kit overall. Onwards to the next, which is the MG Fuzz. And the next is the Fuzz Car. Now this is the MG Fuzz Car, which surprisingly was released in February of 2020. Now the Fuzz Car has a feature where it can actually dismantle its armor and form a default Car, and it can actually even detach its backpack and its mega particle cannon. So really it is a very nice Hajime Katoki version because it is a Car overall. Again, really nice kit, and it is a Car. Onwards to the month of March. Now for the March, it is basically Gundam GLs for the first entry of month of March. It was released in mid of March of 2020 and is from the HGBDR, which is Build Divers R series, and it has its own beam parts that can be equipped to both arms and feet itself respectively. So a really nice kit that is an entry of the March month of 2020. And next, it is from the IBO, which is basically the Iron Blood Orphans that share the same universe with Barbatos. It is the Gundam Marcosius from the Blood Orphan version. Now this was released in March 2020. Armor can be used as a claw by flipping it. Now it has specialized 4 sub-arms that are installed at the back with its own model and has multiple features for this kit, so a really nice HG. And next, it is the Mercon Weapons that was released in mid of March of 2020 from the Build Divers R series. Now it is basically an extension of the Mercon unit that can be added its weapons that is sold separately. Next, we have the Petit Guy Justice Guy that was released in mid of March, includes with its lance, shield, cloak and antenna, and comes with its own stand and includes with its own stickers. Overall, a very cute model. And next we have the RX-782 High Grade Origin Gundam. Now this basically feels like a RG more like a HG, to be honest, due to its immensely nice details and a lot of options for you to actually have it customized. Really nice overall, as you can see from our 360 video that we did before this year. Now let's go and check for the April of this year for the Gunplas, shall we? So starting the month of April, it is the Alus Earth Tree Gundam, released in the April of 2020. It is from the Build Divers R series and it is a HG grade. It has its own core Gundam form and its armors can be combined with other core Gundams, as you can see from the pictures right here. And next we have the Gunpla Hero Loader. Now this was released in the mid of April of 2020 from the Gunpla series. Now it is easy to build and comes with its own Gunpla with a different colorization and variation. So it is a really cute and a pretty nice model that you can have for your own. And next we have the high-grade build Divers R series. It is the Gundam GP Rad 610, released in early April of 2020. It follows the design of the GP025 Celis, and it comes with a lot of weapons in its arsenal. It's a very bulky and a very solid kit to add in your collection, and it really looks cool too. And next it is the RG Force Impulse Gundam that was released in the April of 2020. Now this kit is a highly recommended kit that I suggest you getting, because this thing comes with a lot of features, improved inner frame, improved colorization, and overall a really nice kit for you to get. I highly suggest, because the quality feels more of a master grade rather than a real grade. So one of the top 10 Gunplas of this year. And next for the April line, it is the SDCS Barbatos Lupus Rex, released in mid-April 2020 from the SDCS series. Now onwards to the month of May. And the first one in the line of the month of May, it is the Master Grade Gundam Kyrios, among the most favorite and again the newer versions of the Master Grade. Again, a really nice Gundam that can transform. One of the top 10 Gundams again for this year's Gunpla kit. And next it is the HGBDR U11 Gundam, released in mid of May of 2020 from the HG Build Divers R series. And next it is the newer HG Infinite Justice Gundam, released in the late of May of 2020 from the HG Cosmic Era series. And next we have the Saturnix unit. Now this was released in the late of May of 2020 from the HG Build Divers R series, alongside with its weapon system right here. Now it is basically a sold separately extension for you to buy separately. Next we have the Gundam HGCE, released in the late of May of 2020. Now onwards to the month of June of 2020. Now to start off the month of June, we have the Woden Pod that was released in the late of June of 2020 from the HG Build Divers R series, and it comes with its own 360 video that we actually made a while back, so enjoy it. And next we have the fake new unit that looks almost exactly like the new Gundam, but it is own HG Build Divers R series, and it was released in the late of June of 2020. And next we have the RX-78-2 Global that was released in the early of June of 2020, a HG series to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Gundam. Not as nice as the Origin, but it is a nice kit overall. And next we have the X-Volcalander that was released in June 2020, and yes, I actually made a review of this specific kit. Go watch it, and here's the 360. Enjoy it. And finally, we have the SDCS Phoenix Gundam that was released in the mid of June of 2020. And that is all for us today. Hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video of part 2. Ciao!